Good afternoon from Elephant Nature Park in Chiang Mai, Thailand. You join us this evening to get a further update on 3 elephants that were rescued in December of last year. Those elephants, as you can see them passing across the river now, is JimJim, Siam and TikTok. 3 elephants that were rescued in December from the elephant riding camp nearby to Elephant Nature Park. And many of you joined us on the episode of Eleflix where we walked 2 of the elephants from the riding camp to start their new life at Elephant Nature Park. There was the 3rd elephant, who was brought to Elephant Nature Park on the truck due to the problems with her feet. And we will bring you a short update on the 3 elephants.
สวัสดียามเย็นครับผมต้อนรับกับเข้าสู่ Eleflix อีกครั้งนะครับผมสำหรับพี่น้องชาวไทยครับวันนี้เราอยู่กันกับ3 สาวนะครับผมที่เราช่วยเหลือมานะครับผมจากปางช้างขี่นะครับมียายยิ้มนะครับผมมีสยามและมีคุณยายสยามแล้วก็คุณยาย TikTok นะครับผมวันนี้เราจะมาอัปเดตเกี่ยวกับชีวิตใหม่นะครับผมสังเกตเลยว่าคุณยายนะครับผมเริ่มอ้วนท้วนสมบูรณ์ขึ้นนะครับผมสุขภาพจิตดีขึ้นครับปกติแล้วเนี่ยคุณยายสยามเนี่ยจะเป็นช้างที่ตกใจง่ายครับแล้วก็กลัวสุนัขแล้วก็ถ้าควานเก่านะครับผมได้มาเยี่ยมแล้วก็จำไม่ได้นะครับควานเก่าที่เคยดูแลนะครับจำเขาไม่ได้นะครับจำคุณยายไม่ได้ต้องมาดูที่ตำหนิดูที่รูปพรรณสันฐานนะครับผมแต่ก็เลยได้รับการยืนยันว่าช่วงก่อนเนี่ยคุณยายชอบวิ่งมากครับเพราะว่าเครียดแล้วก็กลัวนะครับแต่ตอนนี้ครับผมมีพี่เลี้ยงคนใหม่ครับผมควานช้างคนใหม่ที่เข้าใจครับมีอาหารการกินที่สมบูรณ์ครับผมแล้วก็ไม่เครียดนะครับมีความสุขตลอดทั้งวันเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยคุณยายก็ไม่มีเหตุจำเป็นที่จะต้องตื่นกลัวนะครับผมแล้วก็วิ่งอีกต่อไปก็เป็นช้างที่เริ่มจะสวยวันสวยคืนนะครับผมมีความสง่างามครับแล้วก็อารมณ์ดีเพิ่มมากขึ้นทุกวันหลายๆคนครับก็จะคิดว่าช้างผอมเนี่ยเป็นเพราะว่าแกผอมเองหรือด้วยอายุมากครับแต่ความเป็นจริงแล้วเนี่ยเหมือนคนเราเนี่ยครับพอเกิดภาวะเครียดครับผมก็กินข้าวไม่อร่อยพอกินข้าวไม่อร่อยก็ผอมนะครับผมไม่ได้พลังงานที่เพียงพอกับร่างกายที่ใหญ่โตแล้วก็การทดแทนพลังงานที่กินเข้าไปเยอะนะครับผมแต่รับได้น้อยลงเมื่ออายุมากขึ้นเป็นกลไกทางธรรมชาติของเขาอยู่แล้วนะครับแต่ตอนนี้ครับผมสุขภาพจิตดีครับผมสุขภาพใจก็ดีตามไปด้วยนะครับผมควบคู่กันทั้งร่างกายและจิตใจเดี๋ยวจะให้ทุกท่านนะครับได้ชื่นชมครับผมภาพบรรยากาศแล้วก็ความน่ารักนะครับผมความสดชื่นความยินดีครับผมที่ทั้ง3เชือกเนี่ยได้มีชีวิตอิสระโดยแท้จริงสักทีนะครับแล้วก็เดี๋ยวจะส่วนภาคภาษาอังกฤษนะครับผมก็จะให้ไรอันนะครับบรรยายเป็นช่วงๆต่อไป
So we mentioned on the previous update on the 3 elephants that they were still adjusting to their new life at Elephant Nature Park. So all 3 of them are believed to be over 70 years of age. So that means that they have been serving people for over 7 decades in the riding industry and other abusive industries prior to their rescue to Elephant Nature Park. We start to show now with the food. We will put the food down in different areas, but different zones, but very close by, because we want the 3 elephants to start to feel comfortable around each other. In the previous place where they were staying, they would be fixed on a chain and were unable to interact with each other and able to socialize like elephants need to do. So it needs a very, very slow process to introduce the 3 elephants to be together. And we have to be very cautious in how we do that. And that's why we use the food. The food is very, very important for building the relationship between both the elephants and also to create and forge a relationship between the mahout. These elephants have the history of people using the hook against them. So now for the mahouts to use the food and start positive reinforcement with these elephants, it allows them to start to realize that we're here to take care of them, to treat them with love and with care. And you can already see for anyone that's followed the stories of TikTok, Siam and JimJim, that all of them have increased their weight significantly. And the mahouts have reported to us that even after they finish their own food, they will go and finish and tidy up after the other elephants as well that stay nearby to these three. So they will the food, and it's obvious for us to see that they've been not necessarily had as much nutrition and as much food as they would need. So now that they're at Elephant Nature Park, they're kind of making up for the lost time and getting as much food as possible. So just before we started this Eleflix, I was talking with Lek and she was explaining about the mahout from the riding camp actually came to visit. He asked if he could come and see the elephants, how they were getting on with their new life. And believe it or not, when he arrived, he didn't even recognise the three elephants because the condition and their behaviour transformed so significantly that he only recognised the elephants from the physical injuries that they have to their ears. So it was very, very quite powerful for him to see that even after 7 decades, these elephants can and will start to relax, start to transform from the problems they have with not only their physical health, but also their mental health. You see already there is we don't see any stereotypical behaviour. They just enjoy their food, feel safe in their surroundings. But again, we'll still take more time until they become fully settled at Elephant Nature Park. But so far the progress is incredible. We see before Siam, the elephant that you can see on the right side of your screen, extremely, extremely skinny. And we walked this girl from the riding camp to the park and her ribs were visible before. Now you can see that she's increased her weight significantly. With the extra nutritious food that she's been given, the skin is also looking much, much more healthy. And all three have started to put on weight. So it's very, very positive improvements. And for the mahout to come and see, the previous mahout to come and see these elephants in this condition, it starts to show and change the mindset and get him to understand about different ways of working with elephants and start to change old traditional ways and see that there is a more positive, more ethical and more welfare-based approach to elephant management. And just as another reminder for anybody that's not followed their story, the three elephants, so we have TikTok, who was the funds for the rescue was provided by the social media platform TikTok to be able to secure her freedom to Elephant Nature Park. And then JimJim was supported by Jim Thompson, the fashion designer, and Siam, her rescue was supported by Siam Winery, and all three were able to be liberated and start their new life at Elephant Nature Park on the 14th of December. And you can see the improvement is very, very clear. And if anyone has questions that they would like to ask or any updates that they would like us to give while we're on the Eleflix, please ask away and I will try to answer as many questions as possible. Yeah, Nikki, great question. Did they remember the previous mahout? We allow him to just observe from a distance. So there was no real reaction from the elephants, but his reaction was very, very telling in terms of the fact that he couldn't even recognise elephants that he'd worked with for a number of years. But yeah, in terms of the elephants, we allowed him to just observe from a distance. Yeah, and there was something also very, very positive that the mahout discussed with our team here. When he saw the elephants, he said that when he goes back to the camp where he's working, everybody about the transformation, and that he hopes that we can bring more elephants to Elephant Nature Park and give them the opportunity to live as they should do, with other elephants, with access to food, access to medical care, and all their needs be provided for. Yeah, so there's a number of ways that you can check the age of the elephant. All elephants in Thailand will have like an ID card, like a passport, that will show the age, but there's also other factors that you can look at. So you can look at the temple area of the head. The more sunken that area is normally an indication of age. You can look at the general body condition, and you can also look, it's very, very important to look at the teeth. And that can give us a good indication when we combine all those factors. That can give us a good idea of the age of the elephant. Tom, yes, if mahouts are willing to change from their old practice to work in a more ethical way and learn about positive reinforcement, LEC will welcome the mahouts to come here and undergo a training program and then join with our team. Obviously, we have to observe them quite closely and ensure that they do follow like our best practice and our way of working with elephants to improve their welfare. And we also have to make sure that the elephant, most importantly, that the elephant actually accepts that mahout to take care of them. So it's not only our team, but most importantly, it's about the elephant. Do they accept the mahout? Do they have a good relationship with him? And that will tell us everything we know about whether this person will stay with us. Yes, Julie, absolutely. When we show the transformation of the elephants, you know, many people will ask questions about practice, why we work through positive reinforcement, why we do different methods to many other places throughout the country. But I think when you see the image like this, you see the transformation. It tells us the story that everyone needs to know. It's very, very clear, very apparent that they already start to relax, they start to gain weight and improve their physical and mental health. And good to see that they can actually have access to, you know, something as simple as a mud pit. The elephants want to use the mud to cool down, protect themselves from biting insects. But it's something that in many places is not freely accessible. So the elephant that you're watching at the moment is the elephant named Siam, who was rescued by Siam Winery. No, Jude, these 3 elephants are permanently rescued to Elephant Nature Park. They will live out their last twilight years at Elephant Nature Park, surrounded by love and care and freedom. And as you can see on the screen, just enjoying their life, having mud pits, swimming in the river, and just being elephants. So you see the behaviour there from Siam. This is because of our dogs. Our rescued dogs are doing laps around the park, and you'll see that she's not particularly pleased with them coming too near to her. So that cut short her mud pit, and she will now just go probably to try and find more food. Kirsty, all three elephants are over 70 years of age. Each elephant is over 70 years of age. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. As many as possible while the update. No, Jude, there's no. The Elephant Nature Park at present will be returned to owners after rehabilitation. The elephants that permanently, the three elephants that we're watching today, Siam, TikTok and JimJim, are permanent residents at Elephant Nature Park and will stay here and their twilight years with us. Yeah, Meta, we have a number of adult and juvenile bull elephants here at Elephant Nature Park, and we will try to bring more updates for you on the bulls. Sometimes it can be quite difficult because there is often a heightened aggression with bull elephants, so sometimes it's difficult for our camera team to get close enough to be able to bring you an Eleflix, but we'll try our best. And do that in the next couple of days if possible, but we do have to obviously consider the safety of our film crew and our team. But the bulls are all located within, but they have the different area, compound area, where they can baths and swim, access to food, but is not in the same area as we're filming at the moment. Ruth and Hazel, thank you very much for your kind comments. We enjoy bringing you updates on the elephants and trying to, in a difficult time like we have now during the COVID pandemic, to be able to bring the elephants to your home no matter where you are in the world and keep people updated with what's happening until visiting's possible again. On that note, there is consideration at the moment by the Thai government to reopen the test and go program to allow people to come into Thailand, which will mean that you can enter Thailand and do the PCR test on day one. If your PCR test on day one is then you'll be throughout Thailand until day 5, where you'll be required to take another COVID test. If that's negative, again, holiday on your trip in Thailand, that's still under consideration and when it's signed in the Royal Gazette in Thailand, and we'll have full confirmation. But that will allow people to enter Thailand without the requirements for quarantine, other than the one night while you wait for your PCR test to come back. Yes, Alison, I'm originally from Wakefield, near to Leeds, hence the strong northern accent. Karen, the elephant that you're watching at the moment, she's just finished her mud bath, and all 3 elephants did cross the river. So some of them have wet legs, wet feet, but Siam, who you're looking at the moment, that's not water, she's covered in mud. Yes, Annette, it's fine to ask that question. A very interesting and good question to ask. If an elephant passes in the park, normally the situation will be that we will bury them in the park and then plant a tree in the area where they're buried, so that live on through the planted tree. So you'll see many areas where we mark where elephants have passed and been buried. But yes, normally within Elephant Nature Park. So this is just a short update on TikTok, Siam and JimJim, just to let you know that all 3 of them are doing very, very well, increasing their weight, their mental and physical health is improving. Dr. Tom continues to treat them for their problems with their feet, and we will try to bring you an update with Dr. Tom as well, so he can go into a little bit more detail on the treatment plans. But for today, we just wanted to bring you a short update, and thank you very much for joining Eleflix, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you very much.